Wednesday. Welcome to Drams from Afar, the social exchange. So I've got some news. This is our second to last Drams from Afar. Next week will be our last week. But don't be sad, it's okay. Mods and I have had so much fun doing these. We're going to put all of these videos up onto a YouTube channel. We haven't actually created it yet, but I'm thinking of calling it Drinks in the Treehouse. So keep your eyes open for that. I'll let everyone know next week if you tune in to see our last live performance. And then we'll just keep adding to that as well. So yeah, it's almost the end of an era. We've been doing this now for 10 weeks, 11 weeks. So that's, yeah, it's crazy. It's been heaps of fun. Anyway, I won't get maudlin. What are we going to talk about this week? This week we are, as usual, we're live. The lovely Simon Modger is my cameraman and personal assistant. There's his big hand. If you have any questions about anything that I'm talking about, or just in general about life, the universe, etc., jump on. And if Mod sees them before me, he might answer them. If he doesn't know the answer, then maybe he'll let me answer them. But have a crack, have a question. What we're going to be talking about today is Sipsmith Sloe Gin and the Sloe Gin Fizz, which is a super cool cocktail. I actually chose this one because seeing as we're almost out of weeks, then it's I thought we'd do one of Mod's favourite cocktails. So he's had a bit of a variation on this. Well, he's had a classic, right? But I'm going to make you a bit of a variation. I jumped onto the Sipsmith website to see what all the stills were up to, and I stumbled across this recipe for a Sloe Gin Fizz, which is not classic at all, but looks like lots of fun. So that's what we're going to be doing. First up, Sipsmith Sloe Gin. So there are a few Sloe Gins on the market. This is a very, very high quality Sloe Gin. There are lots of inferior products on the market that aren't actually made with gin. Are just sort of a flavoured liqueur. This is our original London Dry, so the Sipsmith London Dry that I've showed you guys several times over the last couple of months. So all we do is we take that and then we pick our sloe berries and macerate them for 3 or 4 months in our London Dry gin. And what's cool about this particular brand is that it's vintage, right? So this says Sloe Gin 2017. And what it means is that all of those sloe berries were hand-picked in the autumn of 2017. So it's a great little product. Limited, obviously, because it's vintage. Let's have a little bit of a taste of it, shall we? Oh, it's just like really red berry fruit. You can't eat sloe berries by themselves because they're really tart. But if you stick them in some gin with a bit of sugar, then it's totally delicious.
Now you mentioned you were on the website for Sipsmith.
I did.
What are the stills doing?
The stills are all macerating at the moment because it's nighttime over in London. Well, it was when I was looking. So they've all got all of their botanicals macerating overnight, and then when the guys get in the morning, they will start distilling. Thanks for the question, babe.
Can you remember the stills' names?
Yes. Prudence, Patience, Constance, and they've got a new sister, Verity, as well.
Oh.
Which is pretty cute. Yes, very cute. Okay. Let's make you a drink, I reckon. Let's do that. I'm going to get my ice out of the way because that's bothering me a little bit. So first up, we'll get some prep done. We will juice our lemon. Now, if I were using lemon peel as a garnish, then at this point I would prep that garnish, but I'm not going to have a garnish today. Let's get some lemon juice happening. Okay, there we go, that's plenty for my purposes. Now let's get the egg happening. So I only want to use the egg white. I did say this the other day, last week maybe it was, if you don't want to use egg white in your drink, that's absolutely fine. You can leave it out, or you can use aquafaba, which is the juice from a can of chickpeas. So strain out your chickpeas, roast them, do whatever you like with them, throw them in a curry, but then you can use that aquafaba. And if you're using that, I'd probably put in, I'm going to say 30 mils, okay? Cool, let's do this. Separating our egg. Yes. We only want the white, not the yolk. You can use egg yolk in drinks, particularly in flips. A whole egg goes into a flip, and that's a delicious drink. Okay, right, I'm going to start adding all of my ingredients now. So first of all, I'm going to do a dry shake. Now I'm going to use the whole egg white this time because I really want to get a decent head on that. Often I only use half, but this time we're going to go the whole hog. I am going to put in 2 shots of my Sloe Gin. We need that for that. We need that. Jigger. 2 shots of this. So Sloe Gin actually became popular in England around the 17th century. What had happened at that time was that the government had started portioning off land. So basically, instead of all land being common land, then people were getting their own land. And so you needed boundaries. And the English are very big on planting hedges as boundaries, particularly prickly hedges that aren't easy to push through. So this fit the bill perfectly for sloe berries. So all of a sudden, there were all these hedges all over England made from sloe berry hedges. And so, of course, there were sloe berries everywhere. Now, like I said before, they're basically inedible unless you do something to them. But if you throw them in gin, they make the gin delicious. And of course, as we know, around 1700, there was a lot of gin in England, specifically in London, because that's when the gin craze was happening. So there we go. That's how Sloe Gin became super popular. The Sloe Gin Fizz itself was introduced, was invented around 1920, but became really popular in the 1960s, like Mad Men era. Cool. Okay, so I have put 1 whole egg white, 2 shots of Sloe Gin. I'm just going to put 15 mils. No. I'm going to put 20 mils. I'm just thinking about that. I'm going to put 20 mils. This is my sugar syrup, okay? So sugar syrup, if you're making it at home, is equal parts boiling water and sugar. Pretty easy. Like fill half a glass with sugar, top it up with water from the kettle. That's all you're doing. How are we going? You're looking like Mods is bouncing around, checking laptops, checking phones, and 30 mils of fresh pressed lemon juice. I'm
replying as you.
If you commented and I have just replied to you, obviously I'm not replying to you. That would be my husband. Okay, I'm going to dry shake this, all right? Because we're going to try and emulsify the egg white. So basically, like we're getting everything to all meld together before I put ice into the mix. Okay, so we'll give it a really good shake. Now, if I were going to make this traditionally, this is pretty much what I'd be doing. But at this point, I would then, when I pour it out, I'd be pouring it into a highball over ice, okay, and adding some soda water. That's not what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do something different. Okay, I've got some ice down here. Like I say, this is the Sloe Gin Fizz recipe from the Sipsmith website. So it is a bit fancy, and I'm a bit excited. With ice. Cool. Oh, again with the trick. I need to get a new shaker, I think. A poor workman blames his tools, but this seems to be a recurring theme. Come on, shaker. Don't take it out and hit it with a hammer. It's moving around. It just keeps sticking to itself, unfortunately. We'll get there in the end, crew. Come on. Yeah. I seriously can't actually get it open. Here you go, you have a crack. No, he can't either. Oh, yes he can. He's got bigger hands than me. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely time for me to invest in a new one, I reckon. So rather than putting it in a highball over ice, I'm going to use this cute little glass, okay? I'm not putting it over rocks. I am just going to put it just like that, right? Now normally, like I said, you would be topping this with soda water. This is going to be topped, well, the recipe called for champagne. I don't have any champagne. I do have some Australian sparkling rosé cuvée from Black Wattle. So I thought, that's pink too. This is going to be so pretty. And there we have it. How beautiful is that? That is a Sloe Gin Fizz made the Sipsmith way. We'll have a little taste. Oh wow, that's really yummy. Taste that. Like I say, he's a big fan of Sloe Gin cocktails. So let's see what he thinks. Hey, I don't know if you can see that. Most of that's gone. Okay guys, well thank you for having me again. I hope everyone's staying safe. We're almost through this. Restrictions are being lifted all over the place, which is fantastic news for all our small operators and large operators, for everyone really. Fingers crossed things continue going the way they're going. I will sign off now, but I will see you next week for our final live Drowns from Afar. But keep your eyes peeled, we will be putting stuff on YouTube. Any questions before I go that you haven't managed to answer?
Well, we've got Dan Woolley and Matt Randall on there, and
Hi Dan, hi Matt.
Erica Schmidt says she needs to try gin now, thanks. Which really has a sarcastic tone. Dan says, hey you baby. And you said, hey hot stuff, you're almost as gorgeous as my husband. So that's about
I see. Dan, have you seen me answering you? No, well, there's a red hot tip right there.
And Mark Gerber says I'm greedy.
Greedy? That's not very nice, but you are. Anyway, okay, that's enough for tonight. Thanks guys, we will catch you next week for our final live Drowns from Afar. See ya!